Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So a person who was asking regarding Riya. Now, Riya is, you remember that La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wusaha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not burden somebody beyond their human capacity. If it's not in your control, then that means Allah is not going to burden you with this. Yes? And let me give you a simple example that Manashwit Rahmatullah gave. I'll modify a bit so you can understand. I've explained to you before from in class. I'll explain to you again here. I'm modifying it to suit our example. He goes, you got a main road outside. Yes? You got a house inside of here. And the main road behind of us, you have police cars, trucks, dustbin trucks. Never say limousine, but limousine, probably a limousine goes by. You can have Bugatti going by, Ferrari going by. You can have LGBT parade. You can have niqabis walking by. You can have somebody in a skirt walking by. You can have a person in niqab walking by. You can have somebody imam walking by. You can have people on motorbikes walking by. People dealing drugs outside. That's the main road. You got no control of that main road. What are you responsible for? That front door. If you call somebody inside, that's now you've called that person inside of your house. Yes? What you do now is, the things outside, you just ignore them. You can't. What you could do in the long run, you could have maybe a neighborhood watch. You could lobby the council, try to get, maybe where there's people hanging around doing drugs, get police involved, to get the air cleaned up, make a park, have some cameras, and then slowly, maybe over a long period of time, what will happen? The environment will change, pass laws regarding parking, and maybe if you want no dustbin trucks coming about, then it's about, walking only. You can do all those things, it will take a long time. Yes? So similarly, our hands, our feet, and our jawari, our body parts, we are mukallaf of those. And that part of the heart, which you have control over, your qasd, your intention, that's your house. Your body parts, and your mind and heart, that part which you actually have control over, that's your house. You're responsible for those things. And whatever happens outside, that's none of your business. It's none of your business, meaning you can try slowly and try and get things changed. So the things you watch, the things you read, the things you hear, that's now slowly trying to get the whole outside, my whole change. So if you start watching good things, then you might start thinking about, if you're watching, reading maths the whole day, God, Jesus is coming up. Then what we start thinking about? Exams, my pen's ready, my paper's ready, this exam question. You start reading about seerah, then you might start thinking about seerah more often, about fiqh. So the things you read, the things you watch, the people you hang around with, slowly the outside will start to change. But immediately, you're responsible for what's inside of the house. You understand? And if it's not in your control, you can't worry about it. And the most important thing is our aqeedah. No? Nothing more important than that. Yet, if you have a waswasa, outside, all wasawis outside, waswasa, thoughts. So if you have a waswasa regarding aqeedah, what did the Prophet ﷺ say? Sahaba said to the Prophet ﷺ, we get such thoughts regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can't even utter them, we feel embarrassed to utter them. We'd rather become like, we just don't want to utter them. The Prophet said, no problem. This is sarihul iman. This is a proof that you're a believer. You know hadith? So if regarding iman, the Prophet ﷺ saying that if, it doesn't matter, once you have your iman in your heart, whatever thoughts come, you don't bring those thoughts on your own. And those are not your thoughts. You don't like these thoughts. So you don't like these thoughts. That means that's outside the neighborhood. That's not your house. So as long as your house thoughts are fine, your ikhtiyar, your own thoughts are fine, your own iman is fine, those wasawis are no harm to you. Similarly in Riya, when you show off somebody, Riya is what? If Allah has a question regarding Riya, it has to be your own thought, your own thing, isn't it? So as long as your qasd is, I am doing this action for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's ikhlas. Are you following? Yes, because why? He says that Riya is what? Al-mura'atu fil imadati li gharadin dunyawiyyin. And obviously each of these words have a different, this qaid have a different fawaid. But for now, simply is, you intentionally, out of your own volition, your own choice, you would say, I'm doing this to show him. Yes? And even if you're showing, it's for a particular dini gharad, not dini, dunyawi gharad. If you do it for ukhrawi gharad, like for hereafter or for some dini benefit, even that's not riya. For example, you spend some money, so your kids can see I'm spending money, so they get tarbiyah. You let them know how much Quran you're reading, you perform tahajjud, or whatever. Sometimes parents tell them, I used to do this when I was younger. Why? To encourage them that, so that they can do it as well. So that's the gharadin, dini, not dunyawiyin. Yeah, so when you intentionally do something to show somebody else, only purely for a worldly purpose, an impermissible worldly purpose, then that's riya. So apart from that, you just make intention, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, forget everybody else. And if you're doing it and you think, oh, he might be watching me, those are the outside thoughts, not in your control. My thought is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those things come, just ignore them, carry on with it. Yes? Fine? And then, he mentions here as well, that to leave an ibadah, because people are watching you, that's also riya. That means that you don't leave an action because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't even act because of people. And Manashur Thani rahmatullahi as he mentions, is that takabbur ma Allah. If you're on your own, you don't mind crying and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because somebody else says they don't want to do that. Do you understand? So to do an action for Allah, to do an action for somebody else is also riya. And then to leave an action because somebody else is there is also riya. So whatever your normal practice is, your habits, you carry on with them. Somebody's not there, shouldn't change. Somebody there shouldn't change. You just carry on with your action. You have your intention. Your door is in your house. Your intention is this is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. Yes, if you perform an action every time and somebody sees you, he saw me. I didn't. That's ru'ya, not ira'ah. You didn't show him. He saw you. What can you do? Yes. And some people have also mentioned to be over obsessed with hiding your deeds. So it's good to hide your deeds. وَإِن تُخْفُوهَا إِن تُبْدُوا الصَّدَقَاتِ أو تُخْفُوهَا إن تبدوا الصدقات فإني ماهي وإن تخفوها أو I can't remember the ayah. But it has both of them. تبدو and إخفاء. So both of them. But if you're so obsessed with hiding your deeds, that means that your mind is still on the makhluk. That is still worthy of, like for example, so that dustbin is watching me, this chair is watching me, the clock is watching me. You just come in and do your stuff and go away. Because they're not mukallaf, they don't matter. So similarly, your makhluk, even for example, you've got a little baby in a room. It doesn't matter. It's not significant. So similarly, the makhluk to be so insignificant that neither for them you do the amal, neither for them you leave the amal. Your thought is simply for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once you do that, and if you get wasabi, oh, I might be doing, is that your intention? No, so just carry on doing it. Yes? That is what he's saying here. So it's a long question, but a summary of some of the points he's mentioned regarding that. Understood?